Obama is not talking. He can't talk. He's a retard. He's a fucking retard. Infested building in that place should be, anyway, let me not say it should be burnt down, but it should be. It's Awusas there. Awusas in London. Nigerian embassy in London is filled with Awusas. They're part of the problem. They didn't stand up in their generation. They told us to be fucking praying, guys. We were praying. They're still praying in Nigeria.
And here we are. Oh, Team Resolute Christians. It is hilarious. The comedy out here. 2025 is the year of great light and the year of separation between light and darkness. The children of light will be seen, like the light will be bright, and the children of darkness, their darkness will even be darker. Everything that was hidden is coming to light, I'm telling you. Now, what you just saw was Pastor Tobi. He is the lead pastor of SPAC Nation in the UK. I do think his main branch is in the UK. Again, I have not really researched his church, but I know he's got a lot of branches, and he claims to have the biggest church in the UK, which, his church has been in the news a lot for scams. That's the things I've heard about the church, about, it basically almost being like a cartel. They just recently came back into the news. They came into the news early, like in the early 2000s, and it went quiet, and it's just come back up again. I just wanted to actually share my own story about the dangers of being scammed in the church and sometimes the manipulations that happen. But let's hear a bit more about him and what's actually happening to SPAC Nation at the moment.
And they said that there were incidences of serious misconduct and mismanagement when it comes to safeguarding and financial transparency.
Right.
What would you say to that?
It is false. They've been on this thing for the past 4 years. So there are allegations. There are issues. Why is the police not involved? Why is nobody facing any inquiry? Why is there no inquiry?
But the Charity Commission did say that there was serious mismanagement and misconduct.
So
that's a separate report.
Yes.
So with regard to that, what would you answer to what they said?
So that's what we're asking the Charity Commission now. What is the serious blah, blah, blah? You can't just say there is a serious this and that. What is it, and who is going to answer for it?
You've spoken a lot about how many people you say you've helped, but then you do have these former members who have come out to speak about the exploitation they feel that they have experienced.
Right.
How do you reconcile your vision with what these people have said? Because they're extremely different.
I just finished service today. Hundreds of young people. Some of them have been here for 8 years, meaning been in the church 8 years. Some 14 years. I've known some of them since I was 14. And you need to hear what they are saying about the church. So please, for any reasonable human being who is not just victimizing anything they don't like, if you have 1,000 people in a place, are you telling me 30 people will not be disgruntled?
This is more than being disgruntled, though. These are serious allegations
without fact.
Abuse.
I've asked you if you have any fact. Situations happen, but there's no fact that the church was directly involved or that the church didn't take action if reported to.
So no one ever came to you or presented any of these allegations to you about financial exploitation?
Not once. We set up, when we heard these things, we set up a panel of inquiry, independent. We picked people from outside the Nation family or SPAC Nation, and we asked people to come forward if there is an issue.
But if there are multiple allegations of wrongdoing within your organization and you are the head of that organization, some would say that the buck stops with you and it's your responsibility to weed this type of behavior out.
And they will be right. And we've set up many panels and we've asked people publicly and privately to come forward if there are issues. Every organization has issues. The Catholic Church still has issues till tomorrow morning. Did you shut them down?
A lot has been said about the lifestyle that you portray, designer clothes, lavish cars. Some people would say that that is slightly contradictory to Christian values of humility and modesty. Right. How would you answer that?
Well, I'm me, and I practice my own Christianity by impacting my community, making sure that I don't stay within the four walls of a church and tell people about going to heaven. I put on what is right, what connects to the generation I'm speaking to, so that they are not attracted to drug dealers and rappers. Nothing wrong with rappers, but drug dealers, so that what they are looking for, they can find the hope of that in me.
Whether he's his organization's a cartel, or whether he's a scammer or scamming people with his organization's a cartel, that has been thoroughly researched, and you can make your own opinions on that. There's loads of research and information on YouTube and beyond on that. If you just literally type in SPAC Nation Pastor Tobi, I think it will come up everywhere, and he's been thoroughly investigated. And the reason why they're coming up now again is because they have been demoted as a charity. So they registered the church as a charity, and that's now been demoted from a charity. And the reason why the board demoted them was because misconduct, improper management of the administration's finances. And some of the complaints that came from former church members were, they were told that get a loan, bring it to the church will help you repay the loan, but then the church never does. And then the funds never come back, and the people get into debt because they got a loan for the church. And then obviously he's saying, well, where's that money came from? Where's the tracking of it? Obviously, if someone takes out a loan in their name and then gives it to you, you can't really track it because you've probably given the funds through your account, and you can't necessarily prove that this is how, and we all know how it works, right? Sometimes you get coerced into things. And so that's the reason why he's come up again. And when I saw that, to be honest, I just remembered a situation I was very privy to in the past. I was in a church where the pastor would literally coerce his church members into, getting loans, getting into debt, saying, just get that to help us build this, and then, we'll help you repay it, don't worry, and literally leaving them high and dry. And I think we do have to walk in wisdom. It is very unfortunate when people use people's kind heart, goodwill, love for God, use it against them, and then at the end, leave them burned. To be honest, I fear for such people, because you literally, it's like a lamb that has come to you, and you take that lamb straight to the slaughter with wickedness in your heart, because you know for a fact that you were not going to help that person. You know that you were just having whatever you had in mind, and you let someone be in that predicament. And the worst thing is, at least if you say, okay, help the church, let's do this, we'll sort something out, and you can't, of which you should try your whatever possible to never let that person be in such a situation. But if you know that you can't, at least be honest about it. Don't blank the person. I've known that particular person took this person's money and blanked them, and even cut them off the church. It was really bad, and I've heard stories like that many times. And when you are a giver, you can easily be feeded into these things. And again, if you love God, you can easily be feeded into these things. So you have to walk with wisdom. And the thing is, giving is one of the most powerful things we can do as believers. When you give something from your heart to the Lord, because it's meant to be to God, to the kingdom of God, to the body, it's to God, right? It is so powerful. But people, and when I say people, I mean some of the structures have used this very avenue to disadvantage people, to make people afraid to ever give again. And you've just robbed the person from such a powerful thing, something that could be so powerful in their hands. You've just robbed them from it. It's extremely unfortunate, like in the ministry that I'm in, the Seta Elion Ministries, recently had a convention, and the speaker came and spoke, and the speaker at the end wanted to raise some funds, and I said to him, "No, don't need to raise. We don't raise funds per se. We ask people to give if they feel out of their heart. We don't say come and give. If you feel like giving, give, but we don't raise funds." And he was shocked. He's like, "What? You don't raise funds? You don't raise offering?" I said, "No, we don't. Everything, like out of my own pockets. Anybody who's led gives, and by God's grace, every single month, we are clearing all our expenses. We never owed. We don't owe. Everything is paid off. God always provides." And that just shows you that when you allow people to give from the heart, they will even give more than you can even think of. You may have said, "Oh, I want to raise £1,000." But when you realize that when you let people give out of the heart, you may even raise £2,000 because it's the Lord that placed that in their hearts. And then it comes with a blessing because they're not doing it out of under duress, but they're doing it because I love God. And then God blesses them and the ministry flourishes. And so whether Pastor Tobi is real or not, I'll let you be the judge of that one. I already know how I feel about him. I'll leave with this and let you the sermon speak.
We speak for him, not his fucking church, not his fucking pastor. Nobody's gonna speak for him because he's poor. Okay, I accept all your oppression. I accept all your fucking stuff that you do to me from all your organizations. I accept everything, but let me live in peace. But there's a generation that failed us, and because of their failure, we protest. Because of the failure of that generation. So we're not going to allow the British government to keep fucking silence. Let the British government know that we're not just good for slavery. These fucking retards. Obama is not talking. He can't talk. He's a retard. He's a fucking retard. Infested building in that place should be. Anyway, let me not say it should be burnt down, but it should be. It's Awusas there. Awusas in London. Nigerian embassy in London is filled with Awusas. They're part of the problem. They didn't stand up in their generation. They told us to be fucking praying, guys. We were praying. They're still praying in Nigeria. I'm tired of everything Christianity. I'm just tired. I'm tired. That's what my dad taught me all the way. We saw police take bribes. They said God will solve it. God didn't do jack. And when nobody calling me, telling me about how God would do anything, I don't want to hear it no more. I heard it as a child. I grew up in my dad's house, and God did not do nothing. And I've had celebrities. I've said it. That have reached out. HJ has reached out, talking, and asked for me to call and all that. But look, it's the movement of the people. But yeah, anyway, I love you all.
Welcome to the exposure.